Have you ever found yourself in a relationship where one day you're desperately craving closeness and the next you feel an overwhelming urge to run away the second things get too real? Or maybe you're dating someone who seems like your soulmate on Tuesday, but by Thursday they've completely shut down and pulled back. If that internal tug-of-war sounds familiar, you're likely dealing with the most complex and misunderstood pattern in psychology, the anxious avoidant attachment style, often called fearful avoidant or disorganized attachment. Today, we're going to dive deep into the psychology of this push-pull dynamic. We'll explore why it happens, how it's trending in our modern dating culture, and most importantly, how you can actually start to heal and find peace in your connections. If you've ever felt like you're too much and not enough, or at the same time, this video is for you. To understand the anxious avoidant, we first have to look at the basics of attachment theory. Most people know about the anxious type, the person who fears abandonment and needs constant reassurance. And we know the avoidant type, the one who prizes independence and shuts down when emotions get heavy. But the anxious avoidant is a rare, high-intensity hybrid. In psychological terms, they have a low view of themselves and a low view of others. This creates a heartbreaking paradox. They want love more than anything, but they are terrified that if they get it, they'll either be trapped or eventually rejected. It's like living with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You're revving the engine, wanting to move forward, but your system is screaming that it's not safe to move. So where does this come from? In 2025, we're seeing a massive surge in interest regarding the childhood roots of our behavior, and for the anxious avoidant, the origin is usually found in a chaotic or inconsistent upbringing. Often, the person who was supposed to be the source of safety, the parent or caregiver, was also the source of fear. This is known as fright without solution. As a child, your biology told you to run toward your parent for comfort, but your brain told you to run away because they were unpredictable, scary, or emotionally unavailable. This disorganized blueprint gets hardwired into your nervous system. You grow up viewing intimacy as a threat, even though your human soul still craves it. This is why many people with this style struggle with what's called hypervigilance. They are experts at reading a room. They can notice the slightest shift in your tone of voice or a micro-expression on your face and immediately conclude that you're about to leave them or that they've done something wrong. Let's talk about the signs, because this is where the push-pull dynamic really plays out. One of the biggest indicators is the activation-deactivation cycle. When an anxious, avoidant person feels disconnected, their anxious side activates. They might text you more, seek reassurance, and feel a deep sense of panic. But the moment they get that closeness, the moment the relationship feels stable and deep, their avoidant side triggers. Suddenly they feel smothered or engulfed. They might start nitpicking your flaws, ghosting for a few days, or even picking a fight just to create some space. It's a self-sabotage mechanism designed to protect them from the vulnerability of truly being seen. If they push you away first, then you can't hurt them by leaving. It's a shield, but it's a shield that leaves them feeling incredibly lonely. Interestingly, we're seeing a new trend in the dating world right now called the anxious to avoidant pipeline. With the rise of burnout on dating apps and the prevalence of ghosting, many people who started out as purely anxious are becoming avoidant as a survival tactic. They've been hurt so many times that they've built a wall. This learned avoidance, combined with their original anxiety, is creating a generation of fearful avoidants who are exhausted by the stable instability of modern romance. If you're feeling this shift, know that it's a trauma response, not a personality flaw. You aren't broken. Your nervous system is just trying to keep you safe in a world that feels increasingly disconnected. Another key trait of the anxious avoidant is the unworthiness narrative. Unlike the purely avoidant person who often has a high view of themselves and thinks, "I don't need anyone," the anxious avoidant often feels like they are contaminated. They might think, "If you really knew me, you'd leave," or I'm going to ruin this person's life because I'm so messy. This leads to a behavior where they want you to be vulnerable first. They'll wait for you to reveal your secrets and your heart, but they'll keep their own cards close to their chest. They are monitoring power dynamics at all times, making sure they aren't the one who cares more, because caring more feels like losing control. So how do we break the cycle? Healing from an anxious avoidant attachment style isn't about fixing yourself. It's about reparenting your nervous system. In the psychological community right now, there's a huge focus on somatic regulation, which basically means getting out of your head and into your body. Because the anxious avoidant style is a freeze or fawn response, learning to ground yourself is vital. When you feel that urge to run or that panic that someone is leaving, try box breathing or physical grounding. Feel your feet on the floor. Remind yourself, I am safe in this moment. You have to prove to your inner child that the adult you is now in charge and can handle big emotions. Communication is the next big step. Anxious avoidants often use protest behaviors like shutting down or acting out. Instead, practice using I statements. Instead of saying, you're being too much, try, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and I need 20 minutes of alone time to recharge, but I'll be back. This is a game changer because it addresses the need for space, the avoidant side, while giving reassurance, the anxious side. It bridges the gap. It's also important to learn how to set healthy boundaries. Many anxious avoidants have a boundary-less phase where they give everything away, followed by a wall phase where they let no one in. Finding the middle ground where you have a door that you can open and close is the goal. If you are the partner of someone with this style, patience is your greatest tool. They aren't trying to hurt you, they are trying to manage a storm inside them. The best thing you can do is be a secure base, be consistent, don't take their withdrawal personally. When they pull back, don't chase them, that just increases their fear of engulfment. Instead, give them space while letting them know you're there when they're ready. This consistency slowly teaches their brain that closeness doesn't equal danger. Ultimately, the path from anxious avoidant to earned secure is one of the most rewarding journeys in psychology. It takes time, and yes, it often takes therapy or deep self-work, but it is entirely possible. You can learn to trust. You can learn that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. You can move away from the stable instability and toward a relationship that feels like a calm harbor instead of a stormy sea. Remember, your past might have written the first few chapters of your story, but you are the one holding the pen for the rest. If this spoke to you today, take a deep breath and know that you're not alone in this dance. We're all learning how to love better, one step at a time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.